What's up, CBS crew? It's your boy Steph, not throwing up gang signs. Back with another reaction. This time we have Mr. Creepypasta, the Rake. Creepypasta Storytime uploaded October 20th, 2019. Y'all already know all the important links will be down in the description. Without further ado, let's get into it.
During the summer of 2003, events in the northeastern United States involved a strange, human-like creature, sparking brief local media interest, before an apparent blackout was enacted. Little or no information was left intact, as for most online and written accounts of the creature, they were mysteriously destroyed.
I bet.
Primarily focused in rural New York State, and once found in Idaho, self-proclaimed witnesses told stories of their encounters with a creature of unknown origin. Emotions ran from extremely traumatic levels of fright and discomfort to an almost childlike sense of playfulness and curiosity. While their published versions are no longer on record, the memories remained powerful. Several of the involved parties began looking for answers that year. In early 2006, the collaboration had accumulated nearly 24 documentaries dating between the 12th century and present day, spanning 4 continents. In all cases, the stories were identical. Got in contact with the members of this group and were able to get some excerpts from their upcoming book. A note from 1964. As I prepare to take my life, I feel it's necessary to assuage any guilt or pain that I have introduced through this act. It is not the fault of anyone other than him. And once I awoke and I saw his form, once again I awoke and heard his voice and looked into his eyes. I cannot sleep without fear of what I might next awake to experience. I cannot ever wake. Goodbye. Found in the same wooden box were 2 empty envelopes addressed to William and Rose, and 1 loose personal letter with no envelope. Dearest Lynn, I've prayed for you. He spoke your name. A journal entry, translated from Spanish. 1880. I have experienced the greatest terror. I see his eyes when I close mine. They are hollow, black. They saw me and pierced me. His wet hand, I will not sleep. His voice. And there in his log, 1691.
It's all bad.
He came to me in my sleep. On the foot of my bed, I felt a sensation.
Yeah,
He took everything. He must return to England. He shall not return here again at the request of the Rake. From a witness. 2006. 3 years ago, I had just returned from a trip from Niagara Falls with my family on the 4th of July. We were all very exhausted after a long day of driving, so my husband and I put the kids right to bed and called it a night. At 4 a.m., I woke up thinking my husband had gotten up to use the restroom. I used the moment to steal back the sheets, only to wake him in the process. I apologized and told him I thought that he got out of bed. When he turned to face me, he gasped. He pulled his feet up from the end of the bed so quickly his knee almost knocked me out of the bed. He then grabbed me and said nothing. After adjusting to the dark for half a second, I was able to see what caused the strange reaction. At the foot of the bed, sitting and facing away from us, there was what appeared to be a naked man.
got me fucked up.
A large, hairless dog of some sort.
You got me fucked
His
up.
body position was disturbing and unnatural.
Bitch, you got
As
me
if it had been
fucked
hit
up.
by a car or something.
Shout out
For some
Jeezy.
reason, I was not instantly frightened by it. More
Why?
concerned as to its condition. At this point, I was somewhat under the assumption that we were supposed to help him.
For
My
what?
husband was peering over his arm and knee, tucked into the fetal position, occasionally glancing at me before returning to the creature.
That's not my
In
problem.
a flurry of motion, the creature scrambled around the side of the bed, then clawed quickly in a flailing sort of motion right along the bed until it was less than a foot from my husband's face. The creature was completely silent for about 30 seconds, or probably closer to 5. Just seemed like a while, just looked at my husband. The creature then placed its hand on his knee and ran into the hallway, leading to the kids' room. I screamed and I ran for the light switch, planning to stop him before he hurt my children. When I got to the hallway, the light from the bedroom was enough to see. He was crouching, hunched over, about 20 feet away. He turned around and he looked directly at me, covered in blood, and I flipped the switch on. And I saw my daughter, Clara. The creature ran down the stairs while my husband and I rushed to help our daughter. She was very badly injured. She spoke only once more in her short life. She said She said he is the Rake.
Shh.
My husband drove his car into a lake that night.
What?
We're rushing our daughter to the hospital. They did not survive.
What the fuck?
Being a small town, news got around pretty quick. The police were helpful at first, and the local newspaper took a lot of interest as well. However, the story was never published. The local television news never followed up either.
I bet.
For several months, my son Justin and I stayed in a hotel near my parents' house. After we decided to return home, I began looking for answers myself, and I eventually located a man in the next town over who had a similar story. We got in contact. We began talking about our experiences. He knew of 2 other people in New York who had seen the creature that we now refer to as the Rake. It took the 4 of us about 2 solid years of hunting on the internet, writing letters to come up with a small collection of what we believed to be accounts of the Rake. None of them gave any details, history, or follow-up. One journal had an entry involving the creature in its first 3 pages and never mentioned it again. A ship's log explained nothing of the encounter, saying only that they were told to leave by the Rake. That was the last entry in the log. There were, however, many instances where the creature's visits were one of a series of visits with the same person. Multiple people also mentioned being spoken to, my daughter included. This led us to wonder if the Rake had visited any of us before our last encounter. I set up a digital recorder near my bed, and I left it running all night, every night, for 2 weeks. I would tediously scan through sounds of me rolling around in my bed each day. And by the end of the 2nd week, I was quite used to the occasional sound of sleep while blurring through the recordings at 8 times the normal speed. It still took almost an hour every day. On the first day of the 3rd week, I thought I heard something different.
Here we go.
What I found was a shrill voice. It was the Rake. I can't listen to it long enough to even begin to transcribe it. I haven't let anyone listen to it. All I know is that I've heard it before, and I now believe that it spoke when it was sitting in front of my husband. I don't remember hearing anything at the time, but for some reason, the voice on the recorder immediately brings me back to that moment. The thoughts that must have gone through my daughter's head make me very upset. I haven't seen the Rake since he ruined my life, but I know that he's been in my room while I slept. I know, and I fear that one night I'll wake up to him, and I'll see him staring at me.
And then you'll be next. I ain't got time for it.
Hey there kids, it's me, Mr. Creepypasta, and I just wanted to tell you thank you for watching tonight's video. Because this is October, I'm gonna make this nice, short, and sweet. If you'd like to help support the show or the podcast, head over to patreon.com/Mr. Creepypasta. If you'd like to get yourself some new Halloween and creepypasta inspired teas, you can head over to etsy.com/shop/ivorymonocletea. And if you want to catch me, Creeps McPasta, and Mew during our live Halloween tour around the southern U.S., head over to creepypasta.showfetti.com. That's creepypasta.shofetti.com. Hang on to your hats, kids, because this year is a 31-day Halloween countdown. Happy Halloween and sweet dreams.
Peace. You know, the Rake is like one of those cryptids. You know, those, I call them secret creatures. Like Bigfoot, the Yeti, Loch Ness Monster, Mothman, and Jersey Devil, Chupacabra, and all that. I never really looked at them in that light, but the more and more I heard these creepypastas, even though I know a lot of these creepypastas are fake, I've actually heard true accounts. YouTube video wise, I don't know anybody personally. I've heard true accounts from YouTube videos of people, you know, who witnessed and came in contact with the Rake and almost didn't live to tell the tale. And it be like that though. To me, am I gonna say that the Rake is as legendary as Bigfoot? Nah. Legends of Bigfoot, and sightings, videos, all that date back years, decades even. Like the Rake, I'm not gonna say it's a new creature, but I don't think it's been around as long as Bigfoot, and all the rest of the cryptids. I feel like the Rake is up there with like Slender Man. You know, he's been around as long as Slender Man's been around. Well, I'm assuming it's a he, the Rake. But what did y'all think of the story, though? Thank you so much, guys, for watching my video. If you enjoyed the reaction, leave a like, a comment, and share the video. And if you really liked it, subscribe to the channel, join the TBS crew, and tap that bell icon so you will get notified every time your boy Steph drop new content, which I do on a weekly basis. That is all I got for y'all this time around. Your boy Steph is out.